Hello everyone, my name is Wayne Irving and welcome back to Wayne's Homestead. I'm still pretty new at the homesteading aspect of things. There's a lot of things that I want to learn, a lot of things I want to try, some new projects that I want to do. But there's one thing that I know for sure, and that is that knives play an essential role in homesteading. I don't know what I would do without a good knife on my side when I'm out working. You always seem to need one when you're out doing something. So I thought in this video I would take you through some of the knives that I use on a regular basis. With that being said, let's just get right into it. The first knife I want to share with you today is the pocket knife. Now, I don't really claim to be a redneck, but I do claim to be country. You travel anywhere in Appalachia and you find a man and you ask that man, hey, do you have a pocket knife? 99% of the time he's going to say yes. I prefer the case pocket knife. Not that it's any better than anything else, I just like it better. To me, it's the feel of it in my hands. Now, you can use this, of course, to cut open boxes, piddly little things. I use it a lot of times to clean out from under my fingernails. So, it's a pocket knife. You use it for what it was made for, just about anything. But there's a knife here, there's a blade that's often overlooked, and this short blade here is what I love to use to skin squirrels. Now when I clean squirrels, I love the precision of this knife. It's got a thick, heavy base, and it's got a short, narrow, sharp blade, and it's very, very precise, and that's what I love about it. That right there is what I use when I skin or clean small game, is this pocket knife. So that was the case pocket knife. Now we'll move on to something else. This next knife is one of my absolute favorites. It is one that I've had since I was 16 years old, and anytime you see me out working on my homestead, I have it with me. This is an Imperial knife. I don't know what model it's Imperial. That's all I know. I used to carry it with me everywhere I went, but the buttons here, where I've had it so long, this button here has gotten weak. So sometimes when I'm getting out of the truck, that flips open and I'm afraid I'm going to lose the knife. And I really don't want to lose it because I love it so much. I always attach it. I love the belt loop where you can attach it with your belt. This knife here I have actually literally put in places where you should never put knives. I mean, I'm surprised I haven't broken this blade, but it has been with me for all these years, and I have just beat the snot out of it. Let me try to get this up a little closer. You can see how the tip of the blade has a lot of nicks on it. Two actually pretty big dings in it. I haven't straightened those out yet. I usually always take my sharpening stone to them and hone them down really good, but I haven't done that yet. But this knife has been with me for all these years, and I have used it over and over and over again. I absolutely love it. This knife just does things that a pocket knife can't do. I've cut, of course, cardboard, and I've cut twine and rope, and real thick rope too. So it does pretty good. So that's another knife that I use. This is probably, out of all the knives I'm showing you today, this one right here is my favorite. This next knife I love to take up into the woods with me when I'm hunting, and that is the survival knife. Now, I haven't really used this knife, this one here in particular, very much. What I did use it for was when I made my redneck back scratcher. I used the serrated back end here to cut the limb out of the tree that I attached the walnut tree to, and it worked perfectly. So, one thing I love about survival knives, and most survival knives have these, not all of them, but most of them do. It has a container here that you could put different stuff in. This one still has the original stuff. It's got the matches. It's got a fishing line, a fishing hook, striker pad, button, safety pin. Typically, I always shove char cloth down in the top. But one thing in particular that I like, and that is the compass. It's got a compass in the lid of the container. Now, behind me here is 20 acres, and it's very easy to get twisted around. in the woods. Especially if you're blazing a new trail that you're not familiar with, you get twisted around. I know that northeast will take me home. It may not get me exactly where I need to be, but it'll get me close enough to where I'll remember where I'm at. So it's always good to have a compass, just in case. Everybody needs a safety net. So, but anyway, that is the other knife that I like to use, which is the survival knife. I don't carry it with me all the time, but when I'm in the woods, I definitely have this one with me. Now this next one, I don't know if you can really classify it as a knife, but I'm going to show it anyway. And that is the Machete. I have actually beat the living snot out of this thing. This thing here has been put through the ringer, and it has proven its worth to me. Actually, when I first got it, I took it into the woods and blazed a short trap line, and I was cutting down trees with it. I mean trees, not big thick trees, but trees big enough to where you wouldn't think a machete would go through. And man, this thing has proven its worth. I actually use it on my riding mower. I always have it with me because some places where I go, tree limbs have a tendency to come down, so I'll just grab them and snip them off and stay on my way. So a machete is a good thing to have, especially if I have a weed eater, and there was these horrible vines growing up this one part of a tree, and the weed eater just wouldn't touch it. So what I did was I sprayed weed killer on it, and the weed eater still just wouldn't work as well as I wanted it to. So I took this to it, and I had it cleaned up within 30 minutes. These things are great. Sometimes what you need is not more power. Sometimes what you need is just smarter power. And that's what a machete here can give to you. So that right there is another thing that I love to use on my Homestead. This next one definitely does not qualify as a knife, and it is not something that I use on my Homestead. This one here is a family heirloom, and well, I'll just show it to you. It is my knight's head sword that my grandmother gave to me after my grandpa passed away. Grandpa loved flea markets, but he also loved taking me to flea markets. So me and him would always go to the local flea market that they always have. They have one twice a week, and we'd always go to it. And he saw this there, and he just had to have it. I think he bought it and put it in the closet. That's what I think. I mean, I don't think I ever remember seeing him with it other than he just wanted to have it. So it meant a lot to me, though, when it was given to me. It's got an awesome sheath to it. I've actually looked this up, and the knight's head swords in pristine condition, which this one is not, can range anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. Now this one here probably would not ever go that far, but it's not about the money for me. It's about the nostalgia and the family history. But I don't know if you can see that blade very well or not, but this sword, I used to sneak into Grandma's room and pull this out of her closet and play with it like Star Wars. Like I was some sort of Zorro hero or something. But this sword here, I absolutely love it. And what do I do with it? I store it because first of all, I don't want my kids to get a hold of it. But also, I mean, it's not something that you would just have out. When the kids get older, I'll probably try and hang it on the wall or something, as a wall piece, if my wife will let me. So anyway, that is another thing that I wanted to show you. Not something I use, just something I wanted to show. So, well, those are just a few of the knives that I like to use on my Homestead. I hope you enjoyed them. My name is Wayne Irving. This has been Wayne's Homestead. Please don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, share this video around, and I will talk to you next time.